Some time ago, a very senior MD from a company said to me, "Are you the idiot that wants to put light on clothing?" Interesting conversation we had. He also said to me, "There's no market for illumination of garments. There's just no market for it. It's a saturated market. High vis, there's no margin in it. Everybody's doing it. There's no market." Unfortunately, I didn't really listen to that, and I carried on working on my project and taking it forward. I just want to tell you a little bit about Fhoss as a company, as a name. So the word Fhoss is a Greek word for light. That's where it comes from as a name. And we wanted to understand a little bit more about the name so we could sort of be a bit different with our company and how we sort of invent things as far as product names, about the company, a bit of everything. So I spoke to our local community priest, who's Greek, and I said to him, "The name Fhoss, is there any history about it?" And he said to me, "Where there is light, there is life." So they used to say in the ancient times, if there was no light, nothing would live, nothing would grow. So obviously what we did, we changed the word "where there is light" to Fhoss. Where there is Fhoss, there is life, just to give a sort of a nice meaning to our business. Over time, we've worked with sort of, our first company was Network Rail that we sort of approached, we spoke to, and we sort of, how could we build our business around their sort of environment? It was like the focus point of our business. So what we did, we quickly sort of worked with them. They had massive interest from day one. And they said, "Okay, what we'll do, we'll sort of get you down on site and let's sort of trial this product and see how it works." So this is just a very short video just to show you the difference between standard clothing, normal PPE, let's call it, personal protective equipment, and Fhoss products. So this is two guys you'll see at the beginning of the video, purely wearing Fhoss. And then on the left-hand side, you'll see a guy that will appear when their light shines upon them. So standard reflective garments are fantastic if there's a light source, so it can emit light back. If there's no light source, then you're pretty much invisible, even if you're wearing fluorescent yellow, fluorescent orange, a reflective tape that's supposed to reflect light and make you illuminated. That's not really working. So what this does, Fhoss, allows you to have a light source built into your garment. So it's wearable tech. And somebody said yesterday about smart. We've always said our product was smart. You know, it's not just a bit of clothing anymore. It's smart. It's clever. It's got the opportunity to building IOT into it, wearable tech, you know, making things smarter as we move forward. So it just gives you an idea of the difference between standard product and Fhoss Technology as a garment itself. We also created the garment in sort of different ways where we've got illumination around the feet. So that gives the wearer extra safety. So you can actually see where he's walking. So with a head torch on a hard hat, it shines forward. So you're walking on memory really. Well, the illumination of the trousers, what that gives you, it gives you illumination where you're stepping. So if you think about safety, slip, trips and falls, it's a £1 billion issue in Europe that after 3 to 5 days it becomes a riddle, then it becomes a reported incident. So there's safety mechanisms with all our garment, whether it's trousers, whether it's the top to be seen, you know, and it's a benefit all round. So as a company, really, what we did, my background was working in a nightclub environment. So for a long time I worked and I had about 60, 80 security guards. When you've got a security guard in a nightclub and you've got 1,000 people, it's quite difficult for them to stand out as security. So the idea really was to illuminate the security guard so that if there was a problem, you could go to somebody, a bit like a policeman, you would know where he is, you know, you go and approach him and you tell him your problem, whatever the situation is. Then I thought to myself, what about the PPE market, personal protective? It's a huge market, huge platform, not only in UK and Europe, but globally. Could I take advantages of this? So a lot of research was done to understand, was there an opportunity? Is anybody done this? And it was quite apparent that for 30 odd years, nothing had changed in the industry of high-vis clothing. Just the standard stuff, you know, it's the different colours, the different types of reflective tape, but nothing had really changed to innovate the product. So we had a really good think about what we could do, so we quickly put together some products, which was the birth really of a vest with illumination in it, trousers, we call them salis, these are all Latin words for safety, and then we sort of took that a little bit further. So when we got into the marketplace and we understood and our product was being used and there was a huge benefit to the worker or the wearer, we thought, well, what about the headgear? So the hard hat market, what's that looking like? So we did a lot of time and development around the hard hat, which we call Phi hard hat, which is Fhoss Intelligent hard hat. And that's really looking at the hard hat being a product that is more or less a Swiss Army knife. So if you take a standard hard hat, you'd have a head torch on the front that covers branding. It's a key problem. You've got to brand your product with your name of your company, then you go and cover it with a head torch. There's a weight issue. Then you've got ear defenders that sit on the top. So what we've done is develop the hard hat where everything is built into it. So you don't have to add anything extra to it. So you've got chevrons locating the direction of your movement that are illuminated. So if you're walking to the right, the chevron's going to the right. I know which way you're walking. If you're walking away from me, I can see the chevrons behind, so I know which way you're going. Built-in head torch. So again, it's all built in, rechargeable. I don't have to take it out, recharge it. It's built into the product. Offering a GPS system. So I can actually locate the worker. Where is he on site? Is he in a zone where it's a red zone? So if there was an incident and he got hit by plant, I would know beforehand where he was in that zone. When he goes down on site, I could monitor when he's coming on site. So Andrew Kimitri's on site, what time he came in, what time did Andrew Kimitri leave, where was he located on that site. So lots of information that we can now gather and build in. So we're getting wearable, it's smart, it's using IOT to download information. And the next phase is incorporating a video camera, head torch, a bit like a GoPro, I suppose, that you've got a camera in there. So if you went down to a site and there was an incident, you could record what you're looking at. You could then download that information and send it, to your line manager, whether it was in UK or in America. You could take it back to your computer and write your report and have visualization of what you've seen and what you've done and send it and report it. So lots of really clever information we can gather with our products and share that information in real time. So it speeds up, because as lots of presentations today, time is the essence. It's all about timekeeping. So that takes us to our garments, really. What can we do with our garments? So wearable tech, smart, we can then use it so that you can download the information, to an iPhone, back to a computer. You can gather all that information and share it with smart devices. So it's becoming really smart technology. Even to the point where you can put chips into your garment to monitor how many times have they been washed, how long have they been out in the field. You could be really clever and put certain devices on your garment so you can see how the health, well-being of the worker is. Has he done too many hours? Is he tired? Does he need, nutrition? Whatever it's going to be. There's so many smart things you can start to add. Now that we've added a battery to a man, it's endless that you can add and adapt things to it. These are just some pictures, really. This is a product that's actually being used in the marketplace. So this is a product that people have trialed, they use it, they like it, phenomenal feedback, and it's across variable sectors. So it's highways, it's aviation, it's mining, it's anybody that wears high vis. I mean, they say high vis is the miniskirt of the 60s. It grows every month, every year. It grows 20-odd%. It's a huge market. Safety as we know it increases every year. All sorts of safety. I just wanted to put this slide in because, wearable tech, there's lots of wearable tech out there. Illumination isn't just for nighttime. Illumination is also daytime. DRLs, daytime running lights, was introduced a long time ago in Scandinavia. The old Volvo used to put your car on and the lights would come on. So what they've done now in 2012, April, they made it mandatory that all new vehicles coming in or produced had to have DRLs on them. So I'm sure we've all seen little LEDs on the front of the cars, daytime. What that gives is visibility in the daytime. It's a proven issue they had in the northern that actually reduced incidents by 25% in the daytime. Huge amount of safety that's been sort of as a benefit. The two vehicles on the left-hand side, in daytime, let me sort of explain a scenario. You're driving your car, there's heavy rain, you've got your wipers full on, you can just about see out there. The cars in front of you are spraying up, you're doing 70, you're reducing your speed down to 30. It's a real problem. You think, oh my gosh, shall I stop for a little bit because I can't really see what's going on here. But the only vehicles you can see are the vehicles with their lights on. So if you take a worker that's working on a site, Langenroth is one of our clients that's actually given us written information that vehicles are actually slowing down when they're coming up to a work site. And that's because they can see the worker from a greater distance. So, we've had it a report saying that Network Rail have said in a report that we can see a worker from a mile away down a track. That's phenomenal information and great for the company when, if you take stopping distance, if you're doing 70 miles an hour, it takes you over 300 yards to stop. So you're increasing the safety of the worker all the time. So that's where it comes into life, daytime and nighttime. And visibility does drop by 70%. It's a huge drop when there's heavy rain, and that's daytime. Dusk till dawn, huge amount of problems. A lot of incidents do happen in those areas. So it's not just a nighttime product, It is a product that can be used all the way around. UK, for instance, it rains 50% of the year, believe it or not. So just some really endorsements, testimonials from our clients. Can see our product from a mile away, feel safer, feel better. It's a better working environment. Lots of really, really great feedback from our clients, and they vary from TfL, Lang & Rourke, Amy, as far as Balfour Beatty. We sort of export to 9 countries now, so it's not just UK market, it's the European market. As far as Suncore in Canada, we work with Millennium site in Canada, and they just love the product. So it's lots of areas where there's a huge benefit for smart technology, Fhoss. It's really building the future, really. We're trying to make this safer. We're trying to make the workforce safer all round. We have got to a point now where my idea was to try and put bolt-ons to my product. So it's not just the product itself, it was looking at the other things. And one of the things that really interested me was insurance. So in a building like this here, and everybody that will have insurance for their buildings or homes, without insurance, your premium is going to be a lot higher. Without an alarm system, your premium is going to be higher. If you put an alarm system in your house or in a building, you'll get a discount in your insurance premium. It's the same thing with Fhoss. We were trying from the beginning to gather that data, but we didn't have enough data because we were early. Now that we've got the data, we're now working with Taggate, which is the largest insurance broker in the UK, that's now endorsed our product and said to the companies, if you use Fhoss, we will offer you a discount over and above what you get as standard. So if you've got a workforce and they equipped the guys with Fhoss, they receive a discount. It's the same principle. So it's offering a safer product, lower risks. There's always a great reward for businesses as well. We've worked really hard on our product, and we've won now International Tunneling Award. We've been endorsed. We've won sort of 5 other awards in the last 6 months. So it's always great to have a nice reward for something that you've worked so hard for over a period. One of the biggest challenges we had was sort of behaviour change. It's a big challenge to say to somebody that, look guys, this is what you use and you have done for many, many years. It's got no value to it because a lot of them just, you probably see a high-vis vest on the back of a scaffolding pole going down the motorway because it's the last pole that sticks out and they tie it because the vest or a product has no value. So it was a sort of a lot of behavioural change. It was a lot of educating the market. Yeah, you've got your product, it's great, it's done a great job for 20, 30 years, but this is the next product that's going to make the change. It's something, it does everything that your product does, but it also illuminates. And the challenge is to get people to charge the battery. We only have it's a tiny little battery. It's USB chargeable, it lasts for 15 hours, it takes 3 hours to recharge it, can be charged on any device, but it was educating them to do that. But they didn't know that they charge their mobile phone every single day. There's devices, they charge their walkie-talkies every single day. So they're already doing it. All we're just saying is, we've got to charge this as well. Once they see the benefit for the product, they think, wow, actually, I will charge it because there's a huge benefit for me. I feel safer. I'm invincible out in the field, and I feel good about myself. So I will charge it, and I will have my product for longevity rather than, it's a stationary cupboard. If I need another one, I just go and grab another vest. And companies now are realising that those products, maybe they're £10 and I go and grab another one. Ours is £30, but it's going to last for 12 months. It can be washed twice as many times as a standard one. So it's educating that client or the worker to realise that. I just want to quickly show you the product in its real form, so I'm just going to switch the lights off for a second. It's just a little pouch that sits on the front of the product, and the garment illuminates. And that's the difference. So it's still reflective. It reflects light if you, say for instance, you forgot to charge your battery. Say for instance it breaks, because things do break. It just reverts back to the standard. All our products are fully certified to UK standard, European standard, American standard, Canadian standard. We have a range of arcware products that if you work on oil and gas, they're up to about 15, 12, 24 calorific value. This is registered at 42 calorific value on our FR products. We do an FR range, fire retardant range. So we're looking at sort of different areas where we can actually use our product that benefits for everybody. So it can cater for somebody that's working in a mine, can cater for somebody on a highway, can cater for a fireman. You know, it's a very versatile product. And we're looking hopefully at the end of the year to get into the retail market, looking at the cyclists, the runners, the equestrian market, and I'm keen to get into the children's market and make it quite a cool product that's really cool for the kids. They can use their smart devices and gather information from it as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Andrew. It's another example of where technology itself, although I'm sure a lot of work's gone into that, it's just about sensible application. This seems, you know, brain-numbingly obvious to build lighting into clothing for interpersonal protective equipment. It seems to make perfect sense. And I do some work for the Gadget Show, and the Gadget Show Live, the runner-up of the British Invention of the Year, was a guy who got knocked off his bike while cycling through London because a car driver didn't see him. So he decided to invent something, which predictably was this strap that goes over your coat, over your bag, and has got lights. He used fibre optics to provide that lighting.
Okay.
He's now got a huge distribution deal, Halfords, John Lewis, I think, as well, somewhere. Yet it seems just so strikingly obvious to do that. My question for you right now is about cost, and I think you touched on it just there, in terms of the differential between what a normal vest like this, a high-vis vest that you're looking at there, and then technology enabling that, and then building on that with the hats that you were talking about, with everything built into it. Is this still an area where people who are purchasing for the construction industry might waver and go, well, hang on a minute, I can buy a normal helmet for 100 quid, I don't know how much they are, I'm not going to lie, versus 400 or 500 quid or more for the high-tech, supposedly safer, hopefully definitely safer equivalent. Is that still the kind of balance point for many?
When I started about 3 years ago, our product was, as a vest, about £100, finished, with everything complete. We're now sort of 3 years down the line, and I can retail it for £29.99. You know, huge difference. When you take a standard high-vis vest, we're talking just vest for a minute, they vary from £5 up to £30. So on some of the products that are good quality, and ours is, I mean, I will say it, our vest is a new anti-entanglement version, so the way it pulls apart is more comfortable. The material has an integrated, almost like a 3M fabric, so that if it gets wet, it just bounces water off it. Our product washes twice as many times as a standard product, and we're almost there with the standard pricing.
Right.
We do a jacket, which is a wearable waterproof jacket, and it retails at £80. Gore-Tex retails at 120.
Yeah.
So we're in the marketplace now. We're actually cheaper than standard stuff.
So it's been a case really of you just revisiting these materials, whereas a lot of people say, yep, just have another high-vis jacket, and there's been no need to innovate there because you've almost gone back to basics with this. You've looked at the fabric as well as the technology in there and come up with something that actually is probably better than something that's been kicking around for 30 to 40 years. Okay, any final questions from the floor? Straight away, lady at the front, just here. Yay. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nimra. My question is, you must be selling the products to firefighters as well. How do you ensure the security, safety? Because there might be battery inside the jacket, which could be nickel, cadmium, lithium ion, or something. And in case of fire, in any accident, or this could eventually burn.
We work with a company called Bristol Uniform. They hold about 40% of the fire equipment that's made in UK. We don't actually manufacture a product. What we do, we sell them the light technology. So they then adapt that to their product. And what they do, they have about 7 or 8 layers for whatever's inside. So if you take a battery, that's inside 7 layers of protection.
All right.
So if it gets through that, it's going to burn the person anyway. So
And that's a special material, I'm assuming.
yes, so we
safeguard.
do a tape that is registered to EN 469, which is fire retardant up to 180 degrees.
I got it.
Okay.